You
Oh,
know,
how 3,000?
yes.
3,000.
Oh,
Wow.
3,000. Yes.
That's impressive.
Yep. Yep.
Really impressive.
So,
That is not what I meant to hit. I meant to hit that. So then I could see what time it is, which is 12:20. Genius.
there you go.
All right. So it's the beginning of a turn. Is there anything weird we need to do?
Yeah, the half of the villages are going to burst into flames.
Well, I thought that was pretty well understood.
Yeah, yeah. So we could start up at Lobositz. We've got the fire in our super important square, and we can just start at the 12 o'clock and work our way around the face of the clock. So here we go. Let's go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hey, nothing caught fire.
no.
What?
Yep, nothing caught fire.
Well, that's freaking weird, brother.
Yeah. Now, you, on
All
the other
right.
hand, if it's a different story, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah. You know me and my talent. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to be chosen from.
Yep.
So let's go ahead and just do them clockwise, starting in the northeast corner. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep, the exact one that needed to have a guy evacuate. Yeah,
of course.
that figures.
Of course. That is what we call Murphy's Law of Village Burning.
Okay. All right. Here I am looking and looking and looking. Why am I having trouble finding what I'm looking for? Tell me what I'm looking for. Probably would have been better if I turned on more lights, but I didn't, and so I'm sitting in quasi-darkness. Beep, 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 beep.
Illumination is overrated.
It is. It is. It gives you information you don't want, information you don't need. What? That is so weird. I'm just desperately looking for something, but I can't find it. So anyway, all right. What else do we need to do before we carry on?
I think that's it. I think now what we can do is chuck dice to see who gets the initiative roll.
Okay, and are we looking at +3 for the
Yep.
Prussians?
No,
+3 for the Austrians, rather. Sorry about that.
A rare phenomenon.
I know. That's why I just reflexively went with the other one. So, all right then. I guess I'm the designated chucker.
Oh, that's one for us.
That is one for us, and it advances
does
the
move
clock one, doesn't it?
Yep, that's what we call
Okay. Yep.
a good thing.
Yeah, I can't tell you how weird it is that I have been playing Prague where the end turn number is 12.
Oh, wow.
And it's just stunning how much of a difference it makes. You can go a long time without hitting a 12. Anyway, it's just funny.
Yeah. Well, does the end turn change once this whole business in the Loboschberg clears up, or it just stays the same?
I don't think it does it?
Okay. It's just now that it would just be that.
I'm looking at the wrong set of rules. Knucklehead. Yeah. I don't think so. I think it remains 8, but we should double check because it's been 2 weeks since we played, isn't it?
Right.
So intern number is 8, period. Doesn't say anything further. So that feels like no.
Okay.
Okay. And then do the Prussians at the current moment have a 3-to-1 or better ratio of non-routed combat units in Lobosberg?
So they got 1,
No.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. No, they needed to have 9 or better,
9.
right? Yeah. So they're shy 1.
Okay. Wow. Yeah, I mean, that was uncomfortably close, and it would have been very unlike David not to have noticed. So I was quite surprised he hadn't brought it up already. But I thought we'd better check just to be certain. All right. Well, then, if it's an Austrian move, then the Austrians, well, should probably move.
Yes. Do you have anything of great importance you need to do?
No, because fortunately my guys are able to dodge the fire without me having to, actually activate a unit.
Okay.
So no,
that's
no,
handy when
please
that
carry
happens.
on.
All right. I guess I can. Who would be good to do? Well, at this stage, we can't protect. We can't protect the town from getting shot at. So.
No, just start.
yeah.
Why not
So I
start
think
up
I
north and
will-
shoot at them before they shoot at you,
Yeah,
right?
so I think I'll activate Haddock, and I'll activate the Grenzers up and the Grenadiers up in this part of the world. So that's, I think, the best I can do for the moment. Now, to move into a zone of influence for somebody, you have to, for the skirmishers, they have to make a morale check to do that.
Yeah, and it's an interesting one. It's the only time, to my knowledge, in the entire system, it's really just an effectiveness check. It's
Okay.
not a disorder check. It's not a morale check. There's no downside other than you can't move in if you fail. And it's just a pure effectiveness rating check. No modifiers, no nothing.
And so, and there's no penalty if you fail.
That's what I mean.
Oh,
Yeah, it's just it's funny because the rules don't even say you got to spend the movement points, which, I mean, it kind of feels like to me you must have spent the movement points, I
Right.
guess. But it doesn't even say. It just is like, you want to go in, roll. If you can't, if you can't, it doesn't really say what to do at that point.
well,
So
that's no cost for me. So I'm going to move this guy 1, 2, 3.
Well, doesn't he have to roll?
Well, doesn't who have to roll?
This guy, he's out of range of.
No, his leader's
him.
right here. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Oh, he is in range.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
yeah.
I was thinking. Excuse me. I was in lava tie mode of range of 3.
Yeah, no.
Oh, funny. Okay.
Yeah, no, he's within 4,
Shift-
so he can do that. So
Put-
I'm gonna move him.
Put the clutch in and shift gears.
Yeah, so I'm gonna move him there, and then now, do I roll here and then see if he goes in? Is that the general understanding? Okay.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Hey, he's definitely
Well,
going in.
that's unambiguous.
Pretty and ambiguous indeed. All right.
But now, before you did all that, were you not planning on shooting?
Oh,
or
yeah,
were you not-
I've only got this guy that can shoot. These guys, the line of sight is blocked, right, by the vineyard.
No. That's fair. It's been so just kind of what happens the first activation of the turn is whoever wins, starts shooting.
Yeah. So I'll shoot here just for the sake
Okay.
of it. So I've got 8 to 10. So here we go. 59. That's not enough to do anything.
1 to 1.5. No.
Nope.
Especially because there's no size modifier there.
Yep.
So nope.
All right, and then 1, 2, 3. We'll move this guy here. We don't have to make any morale check for them, and that should take care of things for this part of the universe.
But Haddock was the actual one you were
Haddock is the
activating.
actual one. So, but I can activate that other chap when I.
Yeah. I
So-
totally understand. I just was trying to figure out what Haddock may have had in mind.
Yeah. So now Haddock, I think, is going to fade over to the other side here. So where are we at? All right.
Turns out if you smoke him, he's pretty good for breakfast.
So we can go 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 5. I think that'll get us there and get us some lines of fire potentially. And then this guy will be the one who's out of supply or out of command. So 1, 2, 3, and oh no, where was he? He was there. So 1, 2, 3, 4 gets him about here. All right, and then the other guy's got his full movement, and he's going to come here, so they will be next to each other. And then Haddock will go here. And these guys I can actually push a little bit further out. Yeah. Okay. That will work, and we'll flip Mr. Haddock in the paddock. Okay. That's it for that exciting activation.
Genius.
All
Well
right.
done, you.
Let's
Next.
roll for the next. Oh, it's a special something for the...
5 for the Prussians. Command confusion. No, sorry. Yeah, it's command confusion.
The other player picks one of your commands, rolls initiative twice to determine its status.
Right. So this is one of those roll twice and hope you screw somebody up.
Yeah. So
probably if you went with Bevern.
Yeah, I don't think his initiative was all that hot. So,
I don't think it is, and that's the reason why I was going to recommend it, because you know, I mean, he's still going to get to shoot. Oh no, he's not. If he rolls badly twice, he doesn't even get to shoot, which is really bad.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's choose Bevern.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Roll a single.
David, 2 rolls.
Oh yeah.
Hey!
He passed with flying colors.
I believe, because not by much.
Oh
but
wow, you're right. He really wasn't very good.
Is he just a 3?
Yeah, he's just a 3.
He's just
Oh
a 3.
my gosh! Wow, that's amazing.
But all right. Well,
this is
we'll
what
start
happens.
with
You know, Dave's the computer programmer. We know.
Oh, you're right.
Yep.
You're right.
He types something.
I mean,
in.
the truth is, he really only had to pass 1 to at least get to shoot, right? And because he wasn't going to do a lot of moving anyway.
Yeah.
So all right. So we'll start with the shooting. Let here and here shooting on that. So,
Okay.
let's see. We got Fusiliers and we got Musketeers there.
Right. So the Musketeers are ×4, so that's going to give you, and they're in regular line, so they're going to be 16, right?
Yeah.
Yep. And then the Fusiliers are in general order, so that's going to be 9. So you got 25 to 15.
Yep.
So that's 1.5 to 1 with a minus 10 for skirmishers.
Yeah. All right. Boom.
So a 68.
68, 1.5 to 1.
That is, looks like it's 1 hit and a morale check. Am I looking at the right thing there? Yeah, 1.5 to 1. Yeah.
1.5 to 1. Yeah, that would be enough.
Okay. Chip away some other poor benighted human being there. All right, and let's make a morale check for those boys. 31. I think they're probably okay. They're grenadiers. 24, and then if they're half dead, what do you add to it?
10.
Oh, 10. So they did not pass. So they're going to be shaken?
Yep. Shaken indeed.
Okay, let's go find the old shaken marker. Okay. All right.
All right, and then the Grenadiers here will fire at that.
So you got what, 3 increments there times 5. So you'll have 15. You'll have a 1-to-1 with a minus 10.
1-to-1.
So that's not going to be a hit, is it? No, that's going to be a miss.
1 to 1.5.
No, it's just a 1-to-1.
Oh, 1 to 1. That's a hit. Why would that not be a hit?
Because it's a 63.
Oh, sorry. Of course. Yes. Absolutely. Yeah.
It's just an aura. It means I routed them, right? Oh,
Yeah, that's your Lobotai there coming through. Hey, but it's okay. We've
alright.
got the icon of Smolensk somewhere on the battlefield. We'll just whip that out.
Surely.
Yeah.
Get everybody going back to the line. There's got to be some sort of Austrian equivalent.
All right. So we'll do this guy. We'll go here. You'll get it. No, you don't get a shot there because that is a slow pex that blocks line of sight. So
Well, this guy gets a shot though, right?
half. He gets half.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I mean, but he can only shoot with one. So here, I'll just roll. I think I have to get a special result probably to hit him, right? No,
Probably
I
pretty
expect
close.
so,
did
yeah.
not get a special result.
All
Not
right.
special enough, anyway.
No. This is a special Olympic result there.
All right. Let's see, he moved, and then this will move. Let's see, what do we got here? That'll move there. And that will move there. And that will move there. This will move in here. All right, we'll do assault here, here. Here and here. Might as well throw that one in for good measure.
So everyone's going in. Bayonets fixed.
All right, we'll start at the top.
Cold steel, brothers.
All
We'll
right.
start at the top here. And we will roll that. I'm sure that.
Yeah.
Next one. Here.
Yep.
Next one.
Oh, definitely.
And
Grenadiers.
next one.
Uh-oh.
Oh,
Special
And so
results for a morale check pre-melee. So the unit is shaken and disordered.
wow.
Oh, yeah, that's not great.
And this one.
Ask me how I know.
And
Okay.
he's going in. All right, so. And close. And close. Now the shaken disordered one does.
He's just
he
shaken
still
and
do it?
disordered. No, he can't do
Shaken and
it.
disordered does not participate in the attack.
Right. That's so.
The disordered part isn't the problem. It's the shaken part that's the problem.
The shaken part messes you up. Yeah, you can't. Yeah.
If you
can't
were only
participate.
disordered, you could still go charge
Now,
him.
the guy who's really messed up, though, the guy who's totally messed up is that guy who gets shaken by defensive fire, because then he's still committed. He has to go in,
Oh, yeah.
but at -5, right? So that's kind of no bueno.
Yeah. All right.
All right. Well, I guess the best thing for me to do is to try this one first.
To try that one first. Okay. And so my options are to retreat before combat or to
stand and die.
Stand and die.
Mm-hmm. Really, it's a
So,
pretty easy choice if you
yeah,
think about it.
I guess, let's see. I guess I can. Now the question is, where do I retreat?
One
Where
or
would be a
two
good
hexes,
place?
your choice, but be careful not to get pinned.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think if I go, I could go here. Yeah. Just retreat one. Oh, you didn't identify your attacks.
I have to attack both of them.
Oh, you have to attack both of them? No, but you didn't
Yes.
identify all your other attacks.
What? Okay. All right. So let's be clear.
Okay.
So we've got
That's got. I mean, the
we
others
got
are
we got
obvious.
one guy.
Boom.
What? Why is he? Oh, because he's in general order, right? So he's got to attack both of those guys. He doesn't have any choice, so that's
Right.
clear. And then the only one. No, in fact, there's really no decisions to be made. All of them are mandatory, right?
Yep.
Because the one at the very end has to attack the one he's connected to. The two that are facing the shaken one have no choice, and this guy, suddenly left high and dry by his buddies, is facing both of those.
Okay, so then both of these units could either fight or they could.
That's right, but that is
Yes.
one close combat.
Okay, so he's.
So
got
this is one of those
6,
rare occasions where you
and I
might
got
actually
5.
think about standing.
Right. Yeah.
Uh,
Because
You might.
yeah,
So
my,
let's
my
let's look at this
morale
because
will be
terrible.
improved. Oh, you know, this guy is not shaken after all because the
Why not?
skirmishers have got a -10 for being in the on morale checks. So he's not
They're
actually
not.
shaken after all. Because my roll was a
Oh,
34, and then it was like +10 for being
yeah.
half dead, but
No,
it's -10 for this.
no.
So he's not really
It was.
shaken after all. Not that it's going to make a whole hill of beans difference, but I just
No,
realized, oh yeah, he's got a
probably not.
-10.
Because he's a skirmisher and he's in the vineyard.
Yep, yep,
Right. Okay. All right. So back to our battle here.
yep.
So if we look at the close combat, wow, all these are wildly out of order here. These pages I'm looking at. So the skirmishers suffer a -2 CV when in non-clear terrain, and they're already probably not very good, and it's going to be -2 to that. So the number is going to be pretty terrible in terms of the CV.
Oh, okay.
On the other hand, it's going to be a bucket load of firepower because that's what 3 strength points there and 2 strength points there. It's going to be 5 strength points. It's going to be what is that going to be? Is it going to be 25?
Yeah, 25. Yeah, that's provided they all pass.
Okay.
Oh no, they're going to shoot anyway.
Oh, they do.
No. What I'm gaming out for you
Right.
is if they decide to stand, because the odds here, this is one of the times when it might make sense to stand. I'm not suggesting that you should. I'm just saying let's game it out, right? So 25 fire strength into what's the defense strength in
15.
the vineyard?
So it's gonna
Okay,
be
so it's
1.5
only going to be 1.5 to 1. It will be plus 20.
right.
So 1.5 to 1 plus 20, you'll need better than a 40 to hit.
Right.
And better than a 30 will at least cause him a disorder check. And by the way, that's the other thing you're really after, is just trying to force a disorder check, because that reduces his strength by half. Now, the truth is, his infantry is undoubtedly got a +3 or +4. I don't know.
Right.
It doesn't matter. So he's going to have a big die roll modifier. So right now, what is it? 1 to 1? 6 to 5?
Yeah, something like that. Yep.
So you've got a chance of knocking a strength point off. That just takes him to 5. Disordering him, maybe that takes him to 2 or 3. Now he's at 1 to 2, maybe, but it's still 1 to 2, like +4.
Right.
So I'm not really sure if it's a great idea, but this is a time to at least kind of explore the possibility. Otherwise, back up a hex. However, bear in mind, those grenadiers are probably dead men walking.
Yeah, they don't have a way of escaping. So you
Exactly.
can
So
advance into one of those two hexes, right?
and I'm not saying that influences you, but I mean it is part of the calculus.
Right.
I mean it's only one strength point. Who gives a damn, right?
Right.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, honestly, maybe just backing up and leaving them to their fate may be the answer.
Okay. Well, the other thing is that we're at the point here where, gosh, another turn or so, he'll probably have the. Is it every turn he's checking for
Yeah, it's
numerical
at the top of
supremacy?
the turn.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yes. I mean, you'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, right?
Right.
But and in fact, that's actually the primary reason to argue against standing and fighting.
Right.
Because if you stand and fight, there's a real risk that you rout.
Right.
In which case, you're almost certainly going to be leaving the vineyard.
Right.
In which case, you practically guarantee that he has it the next turn.
Yeah.
So yeah, it probably makes sense to back up, and if that means one unit gets whacked, well,
they were going to get whacked anyway.
Que sera.
Yep.
And then just roll your type D morale check.
So for the guy that's stacked with a leader,
Mm-hmm.
Let's see what.
Well, I don't think
09
stack.
special results. Retreat before close combat 09.
Yep.
If
Yep.
stacked with a leader, it passes.
Oh, well, there you go.
Okay. All right.
Good thing you
And then
specified it that
for
way.
the other guy, 71. Okay. So they're all happy.
Good.
All right. So
All right.
now I get to
So-
occupy one of the hexes. Is
Either
that-
one, yeah, it doesn't matter which one. It really, literally doesn't matter which one. Because, I mean, he's a dead man either way.
But he died for Maria Teresa.
Oh, well.
That
that's
makes it
a
all
great
worthwhile.
Reason. Really a great reason.
That's right.
All right. Let's see. End up.
So I've been
All right.
reading the Instrument of War, and I kept thinking to myself, wow, I'm really looking forward to the second volume, because it's all
Mhm.
about the Austrian army. And I got a note from the bookseller I bought it from
Right.
that said, free shipping to the U.S. in acknowledgement of Independence Day. And I'm like, okay, that's lovely. And so I look, and I'm like, what was the name of the second? And I found it. I'm like, oh, okay, well, maybe I'll think about buying it since the shipping's free. And then just by chance, I accidentally click on the button that says your orders and find that my last order included both of them.
Oh, you'd already ordered it. Yeah, you go.
I've already ordered it. It's been on the shelf the whole time. It's just
Right.
like I got up and I walked to and I was like, okay,
Oh,
I guess
there
I
it
just
is.
saved myself 30 quid.
All right.
That was funny.
Okay.
We'll
so
do the
hang on.
attack again.
Yeah, one. Yeah, okay. So he's there. He was there. Okay.
Totally good.
All right. And now
Which one's next?
we'll do this one here next.
Get out.
Okay.
All right. So the Grenadiers are forced to stand, right?
I believe so. They
Don't really have
ability of
anywhere to
retreating.
go.
Yep.
Right.
So let's roll and
So-
see if they stick around. Oh, they do.
Defensive fire. Then.
Yep.
You pick a target.
Well, we'll pick.
Obviously, you
we'll
pick.
pick the one here that's in the clear where we've got a better.
What is he? Is he a 4
He's a 4.
multiplier?
Yep.
Okay, so you at least get 1 to 3 at plus 20
Yeah.
against that guy.
Okay.
So yeah, definitely
Here we
him.
go. Oh, it's a special something.
Uh-oh. That's a defensive fire special result. There's a separate
It
table
says-
for that.
There is. Oh, 03.
Yeah.
Whites of their eyes. Shift the odds column 1 to the right and re-roll.
Okay, so it's now 1 to 2 plus 20.
No, no, no. 1 to the right would be 2. Would be. Oh, you're right. Yeah, I was at 1 to 3. Okay, cool. All right, let's see what we get. 46 becomes a
Quel
56.
dommage.
That's nothing. All of
That's
that.
that's not even enough for a disorder check.
Oh well, we needed more whites. They were wearing sunglasses.
You needed more whites with red lapels.
There we go.
Wow. Okay, well, in that case, it's time to get down to the real action, which is how many strength points does the attacker have?
I think he's
Probably
got
at least.
5 plus another 5. He's got 10. 10 to 1.
Wow, really? 10 to 1 at 4? And the defenders at what?
Well, let me flip him. He's a 4, but he's half dead, right? So that's going to knock him
Well,
down to a 2. Or
he's half dead, which makes him a 2. Actually, that's a really interesting question. I don't know what the answer is here. So, for example, he's a skirmisher,
right,
so that's -2.
right.
And then he's half dead, which halves him. So which order do you do those in?
Well,
And does it
haven't
matter?
haven't
Yeah,
we
it does
normally-
matter.
Yeah, I mean, we've normally gone with you because the skirmish stuff is on this other table with the combat modifiers, right?
Yeah.
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 Yeah, so he's not.
So what's your point?
taken. So losses are the first thing at the top, right? If
Yep.
we're going from the top, working our way down.
Oh,
So
that's
it
an
says
interesting take.
losses,
Sure.
50%, blah blah blah. So the CV is
Okay,
half.
so he's at +2, so now he's at 0
Yep.
by your reckoning.
Well, if we're following the order that's there on the
No,
chart.
no, no. You know what? I think that's as logical as anything. And my hat on, my tricorn is off to you, sir.
Well, occasionally I pay attention to what's printed.
Oh, genius. And do you gain any advantage? You get +1? No. +3 for being in the village. In the vineyard, +3.
Yep,
So your ultimate number is +3.
+3, correct.
And the attacker is +4, but the attacker is 10 to 1 rather than
5
6 to 1. So he gets another
+4, right?
+4.
So he's going to be at 8.
So he's at
He's at +5
8.
altogether.
Yes. So
the
6 to 1 +5. How do you feel? 0, 0,
that's what we're counting on.
0. Do it.
No zeros.
Do it.
No.
Do it.
Oh,
Oh.
that is big death and
Oh,
destruction.
that is bad. Yeah, that is
It
+10
doesn't-
at 6 to 1.
Yeah.
Surrender.
Yeah.
They should just put vaporize. I think that's more.
Yeah, they should. Should V is what it should say.
All right, let's flip him over and we will send him off to the bone pile to be turned into fertilizer with all the other guys who went before him.
Oh, but the wine will be so good.
They'll have
all
a
that
special,
extra
a
all that extra
grenadier edition. So,
calcium and manganese and I don't even know what else.
well, with the
Phosphorus.
so then that they both advance into the hex. Is that correct?
No,
One
you
of them.
one
You can pick one or the other.
one or both
Okay.
One or both.
can advance.
Um,
I assume, yeah, because they're not actually that big anymore, so they could probably both if they chose to.
let's see. What would that for? That'd make me a big target though when he shoots at me. So I'll just do.
You act
one.
like that's a problem.
Well, it does. More chance of
That's good.
casualties. But well, let's see. Yeah, maybe I will do both. All right. Okay, but then I have to do the facing of the one that's of the Fusiliers, which again is not that big of a problem. But
Actually, that's a really interesting question. How do the rules talk about that?
well, as soon as the one unit in line moves into the vineyard,
Then the other one has to adopt its facing. So you kind of get a choice in that case. That's kind
Ah.
of curious, right? Because if you think about it, you're not allowed to change your facing if
Right.
you're in an enemy zone of control, but both of them are permitted to enter, and both of them have to adopt the same facing. Interesting. That's why. That's why. If only I were Jewish, I'd be a Talmudic scholar.
Right.
Just
That-
not.
how
So,
many
oh,
angels can dance on the head of a
and
yeah
indeed,
yeah
how many grains of gunpowder can dance on the head of a flash pan? Yeah. Yeah, that's fascinating. I'm just not really sure, but advance after combat, because what advance after combat is going to tell us is that um, at least one attacking unit must advance to occupy the vacated front hex, which is totally fine. Um, if there are multiple vacated hexes, no, that's not the problem. Multi-hex law. Advancing units must conform to all facing formation and stacking rules. They cannot change their formation unless required. I think that's one of those funny cases where, in this case, I think we should allow it that the two of them are, by an absolutely fundamental rule, must adopt the same facing.
mm-hmm.
And so whichever one goes in first, and I guess that's attacker's choice. That's good.
Cool.
I ran into another goofy one of those little corner case things today at Prague.
Right.
So I don't know if you've ever experienced army decapitation, which I think is unnecessarily graphic, but that's what we call it.
You
So
lost
when
one of the Austrian leaders or the Prussian
in
leaders?
this case, both of the people who could potentially be the Austrian army leader were both lost.
Oh my gosh. It was
One of them dead, one wounded.
Wow.
But for the time being, there isn't one. So
Wow.
army decapitation. I thought, well, okay, there's a rule I haven't read. I mean, maybe I don't know, but I went and read it because it's like for the first time ever, it actually mattered to me.
Right.
I'm like, okay, what are the rules? And the rules say, if you don't have an army leader, then you go ahead and roll initiative, but the enemy always wins. The only reason you're rolling for initiative is to look for special events and to move the end turn marker. So in other words, there's not even the concept of a tie. It's like there literally it does not matter.
Right.
Just roll dice. Do you get a 0 or does it add up to more than 12? That's
Right.
the only thing they care about, right? And I was like, okay, that's wild. And then of course it says no wing activations for your side.
Sure.
And every individual commander is on his own. He's got to roll to put himself in command. And I'm like,
Wow.
okay, that all checks out. But here was the really interesting part. And this is the wrinkle that it's one of those things you read the rule and you go like, yeah, okay, I understand the rule. Well, do you? Because the interesting part is it means that the other guy can't do wing activations either.
Oh, why is that?
Because there's nothing to compare it to.
Oh, interesting. Because you're ignoring the die, and so
There is exactly.
yeah.
There
So if
is
I roll
no
a 2 and you roll an 8, that would normally be a wing activation, but
right.
because there's no 2, there's no nothing. Well, but I mean, in theory,
I don't know.
You're still getting all the
What
activations.
it
anyway.
doesn't
You're still getting the initiative.
what it doesn't
everywhere.
say
Yeah.
is treat in this case the Austrians as 0.
Yeah.
They say just don't worry about it at all. But the implication of don't worry about it at all is how is it even possible then to get a wing activation for the Prussians?
Yeah.
Anyway, just one of those funny things. I mean, whatever. The truth is, the Prussians didn't want to take any wing activations, right? They wanted to run the clock out.
Yeah. Yeah. And
Activate every one of my units
and
and try to keep you from activating anything if I
Yeah.
can. But it's just one of those, just you got to play it a lot before you see these little strange wrinkles in the rules.
Interesting.
Anyway, sorry. Where were we?
We've got 3
Oh,
viewers, including Grim Harbinger, who sends his greetings.
Egad.
Greetings, Grim Harbinger.
Egad.
Yes, it's sometime in the middle of the night in beautiful England.
Scotland? Isn't it?
I think he's Scotland, England, Wales. He's somewhere. He's
Son of
somewhere
Scotland.
on that Isle of Britain.
Of
So,
fog.
yes,
Yeah.
the fog, foggy
I
island.
did forget. Yeah, I did forget to move this one guy down here. The man guy here. forgot to
Yeah,
move.
yeah. You can go ahead and move him.
Sure.
All right, so we've got our last
Last
combat
one. All right.
All right. This one we're going to stand and fight. No, I'm kidding you. We're going to run away. 1, 2. We'll run right there.
Come on, stand and fight, chicken. Oh.
Come on, bro. All right, roll your type D morale check.
Oh, yeah. Here we go. Oh, we're going to be
Or not.
We're going to be shaken.
Shaken.
Shake and
That's
bake.
right. Maybe
Okay.
the two extra treat was a good idea in that case.
Yep.
Okay.
Well, I
Very
needed to
good.
keep him in the vineyard anyway. But here in another couple of turns, he'll push me back
hold
beyond
on,
the
David.
threshold anyway, right?
Oh, I see what you're saying, David. Because he was in line facing east.
Yes.
Okay. All right. No, that's totally legit. I mean, he had to adopt A facing. That's as valid as any other. Okay.
Well,
Very good. Very good. Well, so much for the vineyard.
And do I want to move Bevern? Let's see. Yeah, we can move Bevern up 1. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yes, we'll move Bevern along. Everybody's still in
chugging along.
command. And all right.
And now I need to roll again because it was my special result that brought on that little merry adventure. You need to flip
Oh my
Bevern
gosh,
over.
that's right. It was. Yeah, flip Bevern over.
Flip
That's
Mr.
right.
B.
Or Mr. V in most games.
V for Bevern.
No, it's just because there's so many other B's that for some reason he seems to be V most of the time.
Yeah, he's BV.
Is he? Oh,
They
okay.
got him down as BV over here.
I
on
see
the- on
that.
the
Yeah,
front
you're
line.
right. Yeah, yeah.
All right,
no,
well, that's
he's,
one for us. And it does, you guys got to be greater than 8, right?
greater than 8. That's right.
Okay, it's close, but no cigar. All right, so I moved Mr. Haddock. We've got Veed is pretty much where he needs to be to receive whatever destruction that's coming next. So
Cool.
I think we're fine. We can just go ahead and we can flip him over. Yep.
Alrighty.
Okay. Good, good,
Ain't
good.
nothing wrong with that.
And I guess it's to me.
Yep.
Huh? Boom.
Ooh, it's
Special
a
result for
special
you.
result for us. An 8-0. What does that do? Special rally. Pick a
rally.
command for disorder, recover, rally. Okay, well, unless you've got somebody, I got that guy that's shaking up here.
Absolutely. I mean, unless you've got somebody that
I don't have anybody
Needs-
else along
needs-
the line that I'm aware of. Now, mind you, I
Okay.
didn't look to see if anyone in Veed's command was upset, but I don't think anybody is. We didn't
Okay.
get hit, and you don't have anybody, so okay, we'll.
I don't think so.
So let's just go ahead and check a pair of dice for him. Hey, guess what? He's not shaken anymore.
Mm-hmm.
He is unshaken, unshakable.
He was
He was
so
slightly
excited by the
concerned.
icon of Smolensk.
Yes,
That, yeah.
just the word of it. Just the word. Oh, what?
Yeah. Just the mere mention
go.
of it.
Yeah. Grim Harbinger says he's in Hampshire. So.
Oh, it is Hampshire. My
Yeah,
bad. So
yeah.
sorry.
Yeah. Don't call him one of those Scots.
Oh no, I
Yeah,
wouldn't
the
dare.
English get called mad if they're called the Scots, and the English get mad if
Certainly.
they're called. Scots get called mad if they're English, and
We've got some friends who live in Corby, which is apparently like the most Scottish town in England, which is like, I don't know if that's damning by faint praise. I don't know what that is, but anyway, so they live amongst the Scots in spite
you
of
go.
living in England.
All right, go ahead, chuck some more dice, Dave. Oh, and that doesn't move the clock because it was an 8.
Yep.
What terrain is this right here?
You might want to guide us a little further.
It
What are we?
looks like it's. I mean, it's all part of the vineyards. They've got the. See, the little trees are over here too, and they've got other trees here and here. So it's the vineyard.
But that's all trees. It doesn't have
No,
any.
no, no. It's got a little.
Just a little bit of that.
Yeah.
It's difficult. It's difficult to imagine that's
I
not
wouldn't
all
say
still
that that's
vineyard.
suddenly something different. It's not woods. I mean, the woods are
Well,
these things up
well,
here,
that's
right?
the other problem, because if it wasn't vineyard, what would it be?
Yeah.
It looks like an orchard, but hey.
But we
Yeah,
don't
well, I
have
know it does look.
orchards. We don't have.
It
an
does
orchard
look
right
like an
now.
orchard. I'll give you that, but
Yeah.
nevertheless,
Yeah, we have woods.
yeah, there
and
really
vineyard.
isn't another option.
Yeah. All right, go ahead, chuck some dice.
All right, I do it since that was a special result. I should roll again here. Okay,
43.
that's another
Well,
one
that's
for
another
you.
one for us. All right.
Doesn't move the clock.
Embarrassment
Does
of
not.
riches.
Yes, that's the Prussians are still going to get in their licks here. Well, let's see. We could always give him one, unless you've got something you want to do.
What conceivable reason would we have for giving him one if we could try to run the clock out?
Okay.
I mean,
I will
actually,
activate O'Donnell then, I guess.
yeah, okay.
Yeah. He doesn't have anything exciting to do, so we just flip him over. All right. It's over to you. Go ahead and roll the dice, Michael.
It's almost like I'm prepared to do this.
Oh, well, that's going to move the clock, and that's one for him. And it might even be a wing activation for him.
No, it is definitely a wing activation for him. If only I could find my cursor so I can move the clock, which is now moved.
There we go. Click, click. All right, Mr. Prussians, are you going to take the one or the whole lot?
Let's see, what can we do here?
Oh, there's one thing I was going to do. Just put this guy in a hook thing, a hooky hook thing.
All right. Hook away.
And that would be a left hook, yes.
The world
Yes.
could use a hook.
By hook and by crook.
Mm-hmm.
Does that affect the field of fire for the artillery, or is the artillery still firing out?
No, in fact, that's always been a funny thing about that.
Okay.
Is that the artillery are not affected. Actually, that's not quite true. The artillery aren't totally affected by that. But what it means is, let's imagine someone's in, what's that, 5536.
Right.
If the artillery wants to fire, it can.
Okay.
If the infantry wants to fire, it can. But only 2 strength points are allowed to fire into 5536. So either one can fire, but then they're done. 5517, both the infantry and the artillery could fire for a total of 4 strength points. And then, of course, 5618, only 2 strength points of infantry could fire.
Could fire. Okay.
Yeah. So the artillery is completely ignorant of the fact there's a hook.
Right.
Don't care.
Cool.
Yeah, which is weird, but that's how it is.
All right, David, we've vamped for long enough. Have you figured out what you want to try to do?
That wasn't a very long vamp. What are you talking about?
We don't want to go off into the realms of Well, so here, Michael and I can chat. Michael? What are you going to be playing? You early in the week, you're going to be playing what? The invasion of
Great.
Great Britain. I
No,
mean, the New Canada.
no, that'll be the end of the week.
Ah,
So the
okay.
beginning of the week will be great battles from the American Civil War. I don't know if I'll be at 3 days of Gettysburg or uh, Wilderness. Not
Okay.
sure which. Albert said that he was going to talk to the guys, Dick and the folks, and so finally, and there is nothing like a pistol to your forehead to focus your mind. So I finally got serious. I got the latest of the Great Battles series, and I took it out of the box and I started watching videos. And in the box, and this latest one is called by Sword and Bayonets,
Oh, that's the one that
and it was
Alan Dickerson helped
yes,
out with. Yeah.
exactly the one that he put together, and it's four very small
Right.
battles, and it was in his mind, it was very much to try to give you a chance to get started without having to try to play Gettysburg, which is
Right.
just right. And but the best part of it, there's one, two, three booklets in there. One of them is the series rules.
Mm-hmm.
One of them is the scenario rules.
Right.
And the third one's where the money is, was examples of play.
Oh.
And it was just taking you through one of the four scenarios
Right.
and just walking you through everything you're doing, everything you're thinking. And the truth is, if you just sat across the table from somebody and somebody said, "Don't worry, I can teach you," and
Right.
you'd go, "Okay, so what do I need to do?" And they'd say, "Well, all right, so we'll do this, then we'll do this." And then you say, "Well, okay, what are my choices here?" "Well, you could do this." "Oh, okay, all right. So and you just do it, right?
Right.
As opposed to the 40 pages of rules, which are a little daunting.
Yeah.
Well, this was exactly like sitting across the table from somebody, because it was just explaining to you. Anyway, so
Yeah,
I it's not like
had
I've
heard it
played
was
a lot.
good. Yeah, I'd heard it was that particular uh, game was good for beginners, and because I bought
Yes,
Into the Woods because it's Shiloh, and
right.
my great great grandfather fought at
Oh, is
Shiloh.
that right?
He was with the Indiana Volunteer Cavalry with the Union
Oh,
forces.
cool. I did not know that.
So at
Okay.
least we suspect, we don't know all the details, but we think that that's where he was because he was then mustered
Okay.
out a month later out of Nashville.
Oh,
Um,
oh,
but that's, Albert was saying that one is really daunting for people to like jump into the game series with because of the
because
scale
the
and everything
terrain
else.
is so
Yeah.
intense, and yeah, there's a lot of scale. Right. So anyway, bottom line is I'm pretty excited about it because this game series, and obviously we have a few audience members who are probably trying to get their heads wrapped around this game series. This game series, if you just sat down and read the rules, wow, that's a lot to take on, isn't it?
Yeah. Well,
And
which is
and
why
yet
you and I need to
really
do a how-to session
exactly,
too.
we
Yeah.
absolutely do, and we should do that this fall.
Yep.
But when you're playing it, once you get the hang of it, really it's like, this isn't that hard, because you're basically cycling through mostly the same rules over and over again, and it's not that bad, right? And so I think that's the realization I've just come to, is however daunting all those rules are, the truth is a relatively small game I should be able to play with relatively high confidence of getting all the rules correctly.
Right.
And so, and they're only going to give me a division or something
Right.
in these games. I'm not going to screw the game up for anybody else. And of course, I'll be able to just ask, "Hey, so what's the deal here? If I do this, is this?" But anyway, I'm really excited about it because really it feels much more approachable than it has ever felt before,
Right.
and it's always been a series I've been interested in. So this is a great thing.
Well, cool. Let's see. We've got Doug who
What's
is
the
chiming in here saying, "I just ordered Lobositz de Quatre Bras. Got some learning to do.
Mm.
Love the time period. I didn't know a lot about the game, but I have your vids to watch and maybe learn. Well, good.
There you go.
I'm going to be putting out a series of tutorials on the 5th edition rules, and then I'll be doing something for the Regs 30. And
Wow.
yes, and then we'll be doing the tutorial for bar. So I've got a whole bunch of tutorials lined up. So I got to get
Yeah,
work on the
you're going to be
editing.
busy.
Oh yeah, but I've last month or so I haven't done much at all because I've been crazy with the summer camps. So all right, David. Now has that
What
been
you
enough?
got? We
Okay.
vamped. We're out of
Yes, we
breath. We
vamped.
vamped.
You're out of vamped here. All right. Let's see. I think we'll do the cavalry wing
All
here.
right. Time for
Uh,
excitement. So
time
that
for
is
excitement. And
Kessler.
let's see what else can we do. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah. And we'll activate our artillery here. Various
Of course. Because there's
types.
got to be more hexes you can set on fire after all.
I should think
Gotta be
so.
more
Yep.
hexes we can set on fire.
We don't really plan to conquer Austria. We just plan to burn it
Burn
down.
it down. Burn it
This
down.
is the reverse scorched earth policy.
That's right. We scorch as we advance.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
All right.
Yeah.
So he can't see that. He can. All right. All right. So these 12-pounders here.
Are you
All
up near the vineyard or are
I'm
you
down
down near
the.
the
He's
okay?
about the Homolkaberg.
I'm by the
Oh.
Homolkaberg. All
Say
right.
that
So
5 times fast, yes.
Yeah.
Mhm.
These guys here are going to shoot at these right there, I believe.
So you say.
So I say, I think they're in range, and I think they're
Range of
14
14.
hexes.
Yeah.
They are 14.
range. So I got, and I think they're what are they? They're just probably ×1 at that range, or maybe ×2 at that range.
14.
I'll bet they're
they
×2.
are ×2, and that's just barely their full range.
Yeah, that was the end of it.
Yeah.
Yep.
So it's 1 to 1.5 plus 15.
No more than that. You've got how many increments there?
Oh, I'm sorry. Of course, yes.
So you've got
Yes, it's
24,
at least
the
plus
equivalent of
20.
24. So you've
Yeah.
got a plus 25.
Mm-hmm.
And I get +10 for where that battery is at.
Yep.
All right.
Still on
Next.
the high point there.
Yep.
All right.
Yep.
Go ahead, chuck your dice. Roll a special result.
All right. Oh, we'll roll a big one, big number here. Boom.
35
That's not a big number.
plus
but
another 35.
35.
That's going to be 70.
70.
Nothing.
That's probably,
It's
yeah. Nope, that's a nothing. All of that for nothing.
Yeah.
all that for nothing.
Oh, well.
Mark off my ammo.
That's the spirit. Mark off your ammo.
All right, and then this fellow right here is going to take a shot at the church there.
Because
You
why not?
sacrilegious.
They're a bunch of.
It's,
Got a nice church
It's the
steeple.
Lutherans versus the versus the
oh,
Catholics.
it
What
is.
do you
You're right.
expect?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yep, yep.
So I got a nice church steeple to aim in on there. All right, so we want a special result. No special
No.
results.
Oh well.
All right,
El Dommage.
and okay. Those two are finished. All right, so I guess now it's going to be movement. Would have been nice to get a little guy there, but all right, this guy is going to. What is he going to do?
Are you still working with your artillery, or are you working with?
Yep. Well,
okay.
I'm with this guy right here at the moment. Oh, I've still got the fire over the other artillery. I'm gonna finish up fire over here.
Yeah.
All right. Um, let's see. Does they both have a shot? Yeah, they got a shot there, and no, they got half a shot. No, yeah, that's all right. So they'll just do there.
You're just firing into the village, or you're firing at one of the units
Fire.
there?
Well, this one is going to fire at that unit right there. This one cannot see that
Ah,
unit.
okay.
It's just blocked. Well, I guess half of it can.
Okay.
It's only half block. Let's yeah, because it goes all right down the line. Yeah, it's half block. So I can do yeah. Let's yeah, we'll do it both
So
of them
you
at that
times
guy. We might as
two.
well.
So you'd have what? 1, 2. You'd have 6
We'd have
times 2. You'd have 12. So that's going to be a 1-to-1 shot.
No, there's 4 that are at 2,
Right.
and
So that's
there's
8, and then there's 2 that's at
it's
2. So that's
and they're half. No, they're 4 2, but they're half because they're half because it goes down the
right. So what's
they're
half of
half
8?
block.
Half of 8 is 4.
4.
Plus 8 is
So,
12. So I said it's 12 to 10. It's a 1-to-1.
1 to 1.
Yeah.
Okay. No. All right. So 1 to 1. Do you get is he 7? So I get a plus on that at all, or is it
No,
7?
no, no.
Is the
If it's over 8.
7.
okay?
Yeah, it's got to be 8 or more.
All right. Okay. 8 or more. That's right at the edge. All right. Boom.
64.
right.
Nope, that was exciting, but not enough to get anything.
Right. And so, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. The howitzer is going to shoot at that guy here.
Which one?
Shoot over. The howitzer, the
Yeah,
10.
who's he targeting?
He's targeting this guy here.
Okay, why not?
Yeah, special results.
Oh,
No.
close. Just have the 8 on
The
the,
other
wrong,
way.
the 0 on the wrong side there.
You're on
yeah.
the wrong side. This one's firing at that. Or let's see, I probably need to. Actually, I probably need to fire that one at this hex because this one then will fire at that hex. So this one first. Again, it's only a special result. Nope. And then finally this guy here. And he also needs a special result. No, no special results. All right.
You guys are really going to have to work on your technique.
You got to be like Babe Ruth. Just kind of point out to some spot in the outfield.
Yeah, point out to left field,
and, say,
and
it's going out there.
that is.
Yeah.
Well, I did point, and they did, and it went out there and did nothing. So, you know. And and all right. So now I'm gonna move which cavalry? I can move all of them, right? They're all in range.
You can move the whole darn wing-a-ding of them.
And so. All right, so this is, if I do that, that's going to be...
The only ones, right. Oh yeah.
All right, let's see here. Might as well have some fun.
What? Fun is overrated.
All right. So if I end up doing charges, okay, do I move each?
First of all, you do all your movement first, because movement is entirely separate from charges. Charges all happen during the close combat phase. So all your movement, do it, and then complete your movement segment.
Yeah. So it's a lot like Regs 30 in that you move.
It is a lot like Regs 30.
You
That's
move
right.
and then you declare your charges.
That's right.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I'd have to look. Is your charge range 4 and mine 3? Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Prussians are 4, and I believe the Austrians
Okay.
are 3. Yeah.
All right. Yeah, that's pretty standard.
All right. So, okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And yeah. All right. Where's the charge?
Get a
No.
maniacal.
So
There it
don't mark
is.
them yet with the charge. You do that after you've done all the movement.
I mean,
Unless
do
that's
you,
the only
brother?
unless that's the only movement.
Just,
Yeah.
it's all good.
Yeah.
It's all good. Bring it on, bitches.
5 and this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right. And all right. Let's see where we want him. 1, 2, 3, 4. Five, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And that's going to be that guy. I'm going to do all my officers at the end here. Okay. And this is going to be just, I'm going to mark them just so I know what's going where. And all right, so 1, 2, 3. 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And those are going to charge. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
All I can say, Michael, is a good thing we didn't get that aggressive commander role.
What was that?
I said it's a good thing
What?
we didn't get that aggressive commander role. I mean, look what might have happened otherwise.
Oh, you're right. You're right. That's right. We got special result. Then
But then only one of them would have.
That's true.
But
Yes.
That's true. The whole wing. That's right.
Yeah.
Right. So 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right. And we'll do 1, 2, 3, 4. Um, 5, 6, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right. Let's see. All right. He can be. All right. So this guy is commander. So he's going to go down to here. He's going to go down to there. Let's see, that's this guy here. He's going to go into here. And he is going to go guess about there. That means 1, 2. He can go about here. And everybody's in command. All right.
Well, that was exciting. Now it's time to roll to
Well,
see if people go in for the charge.
now it's about to get even more exciting, right?
Indeed.
Could be.
All right. So we shall see who we go here. We'll start with this one right here.
Okay.
Ah,
Let's see a special result.
Interesting way to start.
Let's see.
Although that's a good number on that.
That is
A low number would be bad.
pre-close combat.
Yeah.
If the unit stacked with leader pass, otherwise re-roll with a +5 modifier.
all right, so reroll.
That should be fine. They're going in.
And the one next to him, he's going
They're
in.
going in.
Start with this group here. I believe he's going in, but we'll check.
He is a 19.
Yes,
Looks
He's
good.
definitely going in.
And next one,
Oh,
next one's
definitely
definitely
going
going
in.
in. And the
And
next
the
one's
next one.
going in. So
Okay.
everybody's going in.
It's a party everywhere you look.
All right. So now, okay. All right. So let's start with this guy right here. There goes 1 and 2. And he reaction or whatever?
He's got to wait one more
I,
hex.
I can't react until the next
Okay.
There we
hex,
go.
and then I react.
So 67, they're pushing forward.
All right. So, all right. So the next one, right?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
1, 2. Oh, did I goof this?
I don't know.
B.
What happens if I go one more hex forward? I have to stop. That.
I think so. Let's just double check right quick. Cavalry charge movement ends immediately when the cavalry enters an EZOC or is placed in the EZOC of a countercharging enemy cavalry. So yeah, he'll have to stop on the next advance. And he doesn't have enough hexes to go around.
Right. All right. Well, we'll go forward one.
Yeah, it's kind of an entertaining one. I'll have to figure out how that works.
Well, unless you countercharge me, you'll have to attack both of those with
I don't have to attack anyone.
her.
You're attacking.
You're the attacker.
Opportunity charge, I would be attacking you.
Oh,
but
okay.
But a countercharge, you're still the one attacking me.
All right. So he stops there.
Yep.
Whatever.
He stops there, and I'm not sure. We'll have to figure out what happens to him.
Well, I'll look that up while you guys.
That's an excellent idea. Please carry on.
Yep.
That's what we want is carry on.
All right. Well, let's do this then. He's going to think about this again. Boom.
Not that many choices left at this point.
Well, there is a little bit of a choice here. All right, so we'll go this, here.
Right. So he'll go ahead and make a try for it.
Which one?
Right there.
Okay. All right. And this one. Here.
Okay.
And this one. 3.
Okay.
Okay.
Pretty entertaining.
So I found what we're looking for. This is 13.3E. If the active player
13.3E.
designates a cavalry unit to initiate close combat and miscalculates the charge such that the cavalry does not finish with an enemy unit in its zone of control or is not in the EZOC of a counter-charging unit, the cavalry is returned to the hex from which it began the charge and is marked shaken.
Yeah, but
and
he
disordered.
is in the EZOC of a countercharging unit, though.
Hmm.
There's no one in his EZOC, but he is in the EZOC of a countercharging unit. So, okay, so
But
then what?
So then it says any defending facing formation change reactions made in response to the aborted charge remain in effect. Well, you didn't reaction charge him. You reaction charge the other fella.
But I am a countercharging unit. He is in my zone of control. So now, I mean, I'm okay with that. So all units that are still designated to make close combat must attack all the enemy units in their zones of control that are not already being attacked by some other friendly unit. Attacking units in different hexes may combine to attack a single defending hex. An attacking stack. I'm surely it's handled here somewhere. Where is it? Oh, I get it. Here we go. Countercharge movement and the defending cavalry option can result in situations in which a committed attacker will have no enemy units in its front hexes. This is 13.6a. I've just reached the top of page 27. Okay. In which the committed attacker will have no enemy units in its front hexes, but will have a defender in its flank or rear hex. In those cases, the attacker must still follow through with the attack, even though the defender is not in the attacker's zone of control. And so there's an example underneath in diagram 1. Cavalry unit Q intends to charge move through hexes A and B to attack infantry unit X. Cavalry unit Y successfully countercharges Q and will charge into hex C after Q enters A. In diagram 2, unit Q's charge is halted in hex A, and Q must attack unit Y even though Y is not in Q's front hex.
So then is it considered enfilading then?
Well, yeah, and that's one of those things that I've always struggled with a little bit. So we know that if you're enfilading somebody, you get a +3.
Right.
And we know that if someone's enfilading you, then you get a -3.
Right.
And so I would take it that in this case, that stack's going to get a -3 because they're being enfiladed by the defenders.
Yeah. Although it says here, enfilading by an enemy unit when the enemy unit is not part of the close combat.
Yeah, I know that.
Okay.
But I don't know of a place in the rules that explains it in a way that makes any logical sense. Because obviously the logical sense is those guys are really poorly in position to attack the defenders.
Yeah.
And yet they're compelled to attack the defenders.
Right.
And so there should be a penalty. So what penalty could it possibly be? Well, an enfilade.
Right.
Of some kind.
Yeah.
And
yeah, it has to be.
So I can't think of another way to make it work other than that. And that's just been kind of the way the system works is you get either a +3 or a -3, but it kind of depends on the combination of attackers and defenders. And I kind of see why they don't explain it that way in the rules, because the number of combinations and permutations would be enough to melt your brain. But yeah. I mean, think that's why I like the
idea of you just go back where you came from and you're marked, shaken, and disordered. That's a lot cleaner than this. But
it would be a lot cleaner, except in this case, I mean, they got caught up in my countercharge.
Right.
And of course they're discombobulated, and so of course they're going to get a -3.
Right.
For the first round of combat only. Yep. Let's be clear, right? So I mean, I think that's an entirely appropriate way of doing it. If they had genuinely just whiffed and hit air.
Right.
Well, then yes, then they go back to the beginning and they're shaken and disordered, all the usual stuff. That's actually quite difficult to do. you really have to not be thinking about what you're doing very well in order to make that make any sense. Yeah. But anyway, so all right, David, which one do you want to do first? There's no reason for us to do morale checks because everyone's already passed a morale check. So it's just which combat do you want to do first?
Yeah, let's start at this one here.
Okay. So you're bringing.
He's
16
got,
and 14 is 30, so it's 34. Is that right?
nope, he's got, yeah, he's got, it's 16 and 18. So 34 to 12. So it's
Yeah.
almost
30,
3 to 1.
34 to
2
12,
and a half
so
to 1.
it's two. There isn't a 2.5
Oh,
to 1, is there?
Okay. Nope.
No, just 2 to 1.
2 to 1.
All right, 2 to 1. And let's see now. The numbers are going to be different for your two stacks. They're going to be quite different for your two stacks, actually. Did they both advance 4 hexes? No, they both
They only
advanced
advanced 3.
3,
They
and
both
you
advanced
advanced
3.
1.
All right. So 6, I'm just looking at your top stack there. 6 plus 2, 8, plus 3, 11. Think we're good there so far, right?
Yep.
The second hex, the top 4 steps are plus 6.
Correct.
And those are the only ones that matter for this purpose. There is no plus 2 because there's not an enemy in your zone of control. And then you get plus 3. And then you get minus 3. And so basically that number is 6. So we have one that is an 11 and one that is a 6. The average of that, we take 17. That makes a 9.
9.
We good so far?
Yep.
Yep.
Okay. All right. And then mine are a 4 plus 2 plus 1 is a 7. Are we good with that?
Yep.
Yep.
So it's 2 to 1 plus 2, if I'm not mistaken.
That sounds about right.
That's what I kind of
Okay.
come up with.
Very good. Roll them bones.
2 to 1 plus 2. That's all right. We want something low at the beginning. Where we got? Oh, we got a special result.
Why, yeah, I mean, obviously. What more could you hope for?
So
2 2.
0, 3. 2 2, and the defender makes a what? No, is that a leader casualty?
Yeah,
Okay,
it is.
so
I mean, if
leaders,
there were any
yeah.
leaders, which there aren't, but okay. So your 8 4s need to take the losses.
All right. So it's not divided between the stacks.
It's always the tallest. Oh,
It's
the
it's
largest.
it's the biggest units.
All right.
Yep. So these guys are going to take both
Yep.
hits. Yeah.
Exactly. Alrighty, and then let's see.
Lost.
Now I'm gonna guess that I'm the first stack who has to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look at
All right. So
yeah, look at those morales.
all right. So,
So you
I'm
pass.
good. So the 15 stack needs to go next.
Stack goes
Yep.
next. Yeah, and the other stack. And
Ooh, they just
hey,
barely pass, unless
Yeah.
there's any
Yeah.
modifiers.
I don't think there are any modifiers. This would be a type
Well, is
G.
there any modifier for them being in your flank?
Nah,
you
I don't
being in
think
their
there
flank?
is. I don't think there is because I think we already counted for that in the die roll modifier. But here I am looking. This is a type G. Type G. The only thing that matters is losses, disordered, shaken.
Yep, and leader modifier.
Yeah, outflank is not part of it. So, all right. So now, all right. So you're -2. So you're 32 now, and I'm 10. So it is now 3 to 1.
Okay.
And one of your stacks is 6. The other stack is 6. My stack is 4. So it's 3 to 1 now plus 2.
And I guess we're ready to roll again then.
I think so. Yeah.
So that's going to be a -1.
1 minus 1.
Yeah. So
3 to 1.
-1, 3 to 1 is 1D1R.
That's what it looks like.
Okay. All right, so we will increment a little bit there.
And then you've got 4 units that have 7, so you could pick which
7,
of
so
those, yeah,
I
you
can
want to
do
take
it.
the loss on.
All right, we'll do one of these guys over here.
Spread the pain.
Yeah. Increment lost. And I am disordered. And disordered. All right, and
Somebody needs to advance, doesn't matter who. And strictly, it doesn't even matter that. I mean, actually, I wonder when it talks about advance after combat, it may have to be that top hex. Um, when defending units vacate the attacker's front hex because of a close combat.
right. Well, they're
So I
disordered
think
now, so
it's going to have to be one or both of those from the top hex, I believe. I don't think there's any other way for it to work.
well, they're disordered, so they have all round facing, right?
No, no,
No,
no,
no,
no.
no,
That's
no.
only
That's
routed is all
Lobositz.
around facing. Yeah.
Oh,
No, no.
They
It's
still have their regular
you
facing.
you still have facing. You're just a little fuzzy,
Yep.
right? So then you would roll for pursuit points. You divide by 2 because you are in disorder.
So
that's
roll
a
a single
single die,
die.
right?
Yep.
Single die.
So you have
So that's
4
4.
points.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's an interesting place.
Actually, I probably should have only moved one of them. I had kind of forgotten the mechanism of this over the weeks here.
Honestly, if I found myself, if you suddenly resigned and left me to take over, I'd probably advance 2 hexes to get out of the kill zone.
Yeah, I was kind of actually thinking that at least.
I mean, obviously, every pursuit point you spend adds to the complexity, but you've got really good units, so you can probably get away with it.
Yeah. So yeah, so we go 2, and then I roll for a.
Then you roll for a recall. That's right. So the recall would be plus 15, 5 for the disorder, plus 5 more for each of the pursuit points. I'm pretty sure that's right.
That's fine. So he needed to roll
Well, these are
less than a 30 for it to be an issue. So
Probably, yeah.
34
Yeah,
is
that
fine.
makes
yeah. Okay.
All right. So then now you've got 2 free movement points at this point because you've only used 2 pursuit points. Those free movement points could be used for changing facing. You could change as many hex sides as you wish, um, or hex movement.
I hate to put him there, but if I put him here,
Uh huh.
is he will affect the next.
Yeah, he would. Yeah, absolutely. Well, I mean, assuming you do that one next, but it'll affect that
Yeah.
one, however it is. Yeah.
Um, but the greater effect would have been if, since the morale rolls are even. What?
Well, it's just going to mean that if they rout, they're going to lose an extra strength point because they're going to have to go through your zone of control to do it. I mean, that would be the effect of turning west, presumably, and moving into that hex. And then you get shot in the back with the artillery instead of getting shot in the side. So really, that's got to feel pretty good.
Well, that way they're already pointed the right way to run.
Yeah. What if I just move them into, say, something like into here?
Well, let's think about that. Is there any reason you couldn't? I don't know of a reason you couldn't. Free movement would let you move. Free movement immediately ends when you enter an EZOC, when you run out of pursuit points, if you can't make a legal move, or when you decide you're done. So, yeah, sure, you could do that.
Why? Decisions. What would you do, Michael?
What would I do? Oh boy, that's a good question. Well, that's interesting.
To be honest with you, I would just leave them where they're at because they still have an EZOC out in the front, and presuming Michael at some point in time gets this Lucchese cavalry, the deeper in they are, the easier it's going to be for them to get hit in the flank or whatever else. Right now, presuming, say, your other combats go well, right, you're going to have stuff here.
That's not a very good presumption at this point.
Okay.
Oh, I don't know about that, but okay.
You obviously you haven't played the Austrians enough.
Clearly.
Like, hold my beer. Yes, what can we do? But I don't know. I don't know that it makes any sense to get right here because you can't reaction or opportunity charge. You're disordered, so it's not like you're going to pin the guy. He can move away from you, come around and hit you in the flank. So that's not really going to have an impact on it. So that's why I'm kind of like leaving him where he's at. It's probably as good as anything else because it's going to be problematic. Oh, you could move him one hex forward, I guess, here to ensure that you're going to be presenting an EZOC somewhere, but I don't know. What about you, Michael?
Yeah. It seems to me that moving forward enough to simultaneously protect yourself against that rear rank of cavalry, and also to interfere as much as you can reasonably do in the front rank, I think makes a lot of sense. I'm not sure if it makes sense to turn west and move to 3904 because then you've just made it just that much easier to attack you in the flank next turn and you won't be able to react to it. Or not even next turn, just later this turn. So 3905 facing southeast still kind of is infringing on the front line's ability to retreat. They're going to have to retreat over the second line in order to get free. And of course, we know that retreating over a friendly unit when you're routing runs the risk of causing not just shaken, but shaken and disordered
right
to the unit you run over. So that's a really non-trivial thing. And so, yeah, I mean, I could definitely see some merit to the idea of
moving
wanting to
forward like
make
one
that
has.
retreat as painful as possible. And that would be one way of doing it, I think.
Yeah, just to move forward to there.
Yeah, and then just say, I'm done there.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, but now,
I can
but
go.
Michael, couldn't you retreat this way? 1, 2,
You
3,
know
4,
what?
5, 6. I
I,
mean,
I literally did not see that until he moved.
yeah,
But yes, actually, you've got a point there.
yeah. So that's why I
Um,
personally thought that was a better hex to kind of park yourself in.
yeah, and maybe it
Yeah,
is. Because you're right. I mean, it's and here's the only logic why that's okay. It's because I'm getting away from the guys who are attacking me,
yeah,
and I'm avoiding an enemy zone of control.
yeah.
And so, really, running behind you would make sense. Yeah, you know what? I take it back, David. You'd be better
Well,
off staying
but
where you
but
were.
if I if I stay here, there's also two more attacks. Here, all of them can go through here if there's a adverse
Okay.
result from
Yeah.
any
Sure.
CR. Whereas here, this one can't go the other way. Can he? I guess he still could go that way.
Now
No.
he's more likely to go this
No,
way,
no,
right?
well, what you think about it, his first priority is he has to get away from the person causing him to retreat.
Right.
Right.
So he can't go to 3805 and then 3904 because
Yeah.
that's not getting farther from the guy that attacked him, right? He would have to head south or southwest.
Yeah.
So in that sense, I mean, assuming he could go 1, 2, 3, 4. I mean, I guess he could get around the left side of that second rank if he retreated. So maybe he's okay. So yeah, maybe it kind of all adds up to really take your pick.
All right.
Well, and are we
we'll
doing
go-
things in the right order? Do we do the pursuit immediately after the combat, or does that happen all after all the charges
You
are done?
would no you would be doing the pursuit
Okay.
in order, and it's only because we're all good friends and enjoying the exploration of the system that we're even having this lengthy conversation. If it was a competitive game, we'd just
Right.
tell David to go pound sand and make up your mind. What are you going to do?
You know?
And we're not going to talk about it. You're just going to make your decision, and we're going to laugh at you scornfully afterwards.
Exactly.
All right. Next charge.
So you're good where you are?
I'm good where I am there.
All right, very good. All right. So the next charge, which one do you want to do next?
Well, let's do this one here.
Okay. All right. And we should
It'll be 1 to 1.5, so it's 11 to 12.
flip all those units over so we can see what we're looking at here. So you are 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
He should be
8,
just
9,
10,
10.
right? Yeah.
Yep. And I am 6, 7, 8, 9. So it's 1 to 1.5 plus 1.
1. All right. Boom.
All right.
Big
so
number.
that's
You're right
gonna be
on.
minus 2. That is
Oh,
the
that's gonna be a
attacker is.
No. I think it's
Zero.
it's
a
even.
0.
Yeah.
It's
Oh,
a
so
0.
it's just an MM.
And then
All right. So the attacker needs to roll first.
attacker needs to roll first. Boom. Problem.
Okay, and then the defender needs to roll.
No problem.
All right. And now we're just our printed values. So now it's 1 to 1.5 minus 1.
Okay.
Makes sense?
Yep.
Because you've got the officer.
I got the leader. Yeah.
Right. Okay.
There's no
so
charge bonus anymore.
1 to 1.5 minus 1. Boom.
So that's going to be a 3.
3.
That's another
and
MM.
1 to 1.5. Another MM. Okay.
All right. So who rolls first?
The attacker always rolls
Oh,
first
okay.
unless it's a special event.
All right. Boom.
They're happy.
Oh, very compelling. And the defenders.
Also,
Okay.
They're the same. So
All right. So at this point, we just keep going because there's really no changes anywhere involved here. Now, I will say this is one of the things because I've been playing a game of Prague. Um, Whenever cavalry enter a second round of battle, you always get a fatigue marker. If you're playing with the fatigue optional rules, just and anytime cavalry spend a pursuit point, they get a fatigue marker. Again, it's an optional rule, but it's these. I point that out just because I just kind of want to highlight how it changes your thinking
yeah.
a little bit,
Well,
and just how you.
he can't call off the combat now.
Oh no,
Yeah,
no,
yeah,
no!
yeah, yeah.
But you're thinking about it before you go in, right? Because you're just kind of recognizing that outside of your control, you could find yourself like blowing your cavalry all at once
Right.
because
Yeah.
you just don't know. So all right, so we're back to 1 to 1.5, and it's -1.
one. So
Oof. Okay, so that's going to be
Yeah, that's
a
an
-9.
8. No. It's a special.
Oh, it's a special? I thought
Yeah.
it had to be a 0 first to be a special.
No. A 0 at all.
this
Anywhere.
one, this
Anywhere.
is your die and my die, basically.
That's right. It doesn't matter. And any 0 is good.
Oh, okay. So
And that is, you're right. That is subtly different than other times when, because remember, in literally what would really happen in the game is you and I are both rolling a die.
Right.
One of us rolled a 0, one of us rolled an 8. It doesn't matter which of us did.
right.
It's not like I'm rolling 2 dice and I rolled an 80 versus a 0.8, which
Right.
would be different. Yeah, but you're right because of the way we're playing it. So the attacker takes 2, the defender takes 1, but the defender needs to roll a leader loss check. So I will go ahead and do that here. And it looks like he's whacked. All right. And where are we putting dead people?
So, well, he's going to come back, right? With
No. Well, no, a replacement will come back in his place.
Right,
He
but
won't.
I don't think we have any replacements. I don't see a replacement leader thing here. There's got to be something, maybe somewhere, right?
Yeah.
Unit markers.
Replacement leaders.
Where are they at?
Under Austrian units, if you tab all the way to the right.
Okay.
Now that's weird though. There's only 3 of them. I struggle with that. I wonder if that's real. I wonder if we might have to experiment with that a little bit. But it doesn't matter right now because he's dead.
Yeah.
So where are we putting dead people?
So we were putting dead people over on the chart that's got the loss sheet, the Austrian loss
like
sheet.
the actual Austrian loss
Yeah.
sheet. Okay, all right. So I will do that. Now, what I tend to do, for what it's worth, is I tend to put them in the form they were when they died. That is to say, if they'd already activated, I want to make sure to make note of that. But in this case, of course, he hadn't activated.
Right.
So, all right. So, given that you're taking 1 hit on each of your units, and I'm taking 1 on my bottom unit.
I take 2 on. I only have a single
You
unit.
only got a single unit there. So he's got now 9 increments.
Oh,
and
of
you've
course. I'm
got-
sorry. Yes,
and you've got
9
11.
and 11. Yes,
Yeah.
quite so. 9 and 11. So it's still 1 to 1.5.
Well, you take.
But I need to
you
roll
guys-
my disorder to my morale check first, and then you'll do yours because mine's the higher one.
Yes.
So-
Okay,
Ooh.
and now you.
All right. And yeah, I'm good.
All right, now it's going to be 1 to 1.5 now plus 1.
1. Because the leader isn't affecting things now. So.
Right.
Another special result. So now it's 3 for the
3 losses
attacker
for each.
Ouch. This is quite the scrum there.
Yeah, this is taking no prisoners here.
Yeah. There's
Okay.
people are really using sabers here.
Yeah, it sure looks like it.
This is,
And
Well,
Okay,
not gonna
that
be
was
much
not
left
what I
anyway.
wanted. Oh, for the love of God.
All right, so you should have 2 on each, right?
No, you'd have
Well,
two
it was
on
certainly,
two, one on one, and
certainly
oh no, you're right.
intent,
Yeah, you
but
would
we haven't
two on
gotten there
each. Yeah.
yet because of a life or death struggle I have with the freaking keyboard. Okay. All right. So now,
No, you got one
no,
more.
no, no. Yeah, I gotcha. I gotcha.
Okay.
I'm just like I said.
All right.
You know
Yeah.
me. If there's like a key combination that could screw this up, I will find it. All right. So you have 6 left. I have 8 left. It's still 1 to 1.5 plus
Yeah.
1.
Boy,
Roll
this
another
is a
zero.
rough night. Oh, yeah. All
Yeah.
right.
We could see if we just run out of guys altogether.
Yeah.
Yeah, we could.
All right. So
Oh,
that's
that's
going to be
not
a
gonna.
4
That's gonna be good.
and -4 at. So that's now going to be
At 1 to 1.5.
2R1D.
Okay. 2R1D.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Dave's
that's
going to take 2 hits and route.
Yeah.
So he should be up to. Ouch, there's not much left of those guys.
Well, they were still over half until that. So.
Yeah.
well, yeah, but I mean, eventually you get to the point where you have crossed too many sabers too many times, right?
1, 2, 3. Actually, let's see here. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Or actually, I can't. That would be 7. So I'll go that way. All right.
Okay, well, all right. So he's obliged to move into this hex and to adopt such facing as would put him able to pursue the enemy, which he is now, and then let's see. Make sure I'm remembering how this works, because this is always there's a subtlety here.
Well,
So there is no pursuit if the advancing cavalry is shaken, or if all the defeated enemy units were eliminated by close combat, or if the enemy hex was vacated due to a retreat before close combat. Even if the advancing cavalry unit has a non-routed enemy unit in its zone of control, and this is why I always have to look this one up after advancing into the vacated hex. So, in other words, there is still pursuit.
Right.
If the hex into which the enemy cavalry advanced after close combat is in an enemy zone of control, cavalry will still pursue. So I need to go ahead and roll for pursuit, even so. So I'll go ahead and roll for pursuit. We'll divide by 2 because they're disordered. So that's 2
points,
which is not enough to do anything useful. Well, actually, boy, it's even more interesting, because if I advance, then I've only got 1 pursuit point left. So I could advance and then adopt any facing I wanted to.
Yeah.
Or I could just stay where I am. That's kind of my choices. And there's really not a lot good about any of those choices. So I think I'll stay exactly where I am. So he's good. All right, next.
All right, next. Let's go down the line.
All righty.
We'll do this guy next.
All right. So probably kind of familiar at this point because it's going to be 1 to 1.5, going to be +1. And oh no, I'm sorry.
No,
of
he's
course
got more
not.
than that
No,
because he's
no,
got the
no,
leader.
no. No, it's it would be if we didn't have the whole
+3.
charge going on.
Yeah. So it's 1.5.
No, it's going to be more than that. It's going to be 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 to 7. It's going to, I'm sorry.
So
It's going to be +3. Yeah. All right. So 1 to 1.5 +3.
1 to 1.5 +3.
So that's going to be a 3. That's our MM again.
All right. The attacker rolls first.
And they pass.
The defender will roll. Yep. All right. We'll go back to the second one.
Nobody
Now it's going to
has
be
failed
one.
the morale check yet on any of these, other than one of my charges there. But
No, everyone's quite enthusiastic about this whole
apparently
killing people. Yeah.
Now it's a 1.
So
1 to 1.5.
1 to 1.5 minus
+1.
1. Oh, +1, right? Yeah, +1. Yep.
+1.
1 to 1.5 +1.
So that's going to be a -3.
-3.
So that's
1 to 1.5
1R, 1D. So
Okay.
the Prussians lose 1 en route, and the Austrians lose 1 and
are disordered. Okay. Yeah. All right. We can do that. We have the power. We have the technology.
And 1, 2. And it's hexes, right? Or is
Sorry?
It's hexes.
Yeah. It's 6 hexes.
3, 4, 5, 6.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that would have been the path.
Yeah.
So you wouldn't have passed through 3402.
Okay.
I mean, you couldn't. You have to do
be
as straight a line.
Yeah.
You have to do as straight a line as you can do, and that would make it as straight a line as it could be. All right. There we go. All right. Again. So again, I'm not in an enemy zone of control, or no one's in my zone of control. So I will roll. All right. So it's just 1. So there's clearly not very much enthusiasm for doing anything further. So, all right. So then we'll just recall right where we are. We're fine. And we'll move to our last one, which probably will look suspiciously like the previous ones, I guess. I mean, I don't really know that, but I'm going to guess that's true.
1 to 1.5 with a +3 if anything's the same. Yeah.
Looks a lot like that would be it. So 1 to 1.5 +3 for our first round. Let's see what we got.
Oh, that's going to be better.
Now we finally got something exciting for you.
An 8. So that's a 1D and a 2R.
2R. Okay. All right. Well, then we will select both of these and put a 1 on each of them, assuming I can actually control the mouse correctly. Okay.
So it looks like situation normal, all messed up there.
I think that was 6, right? One,
Yeah.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, okay. All right.
Actually, he should be here, right? Because wasn't he in this hex?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
1,
No,
2,
he
3,
was in that
4,
hex.
5. Oh, okay.
Yeah, because he hasn't advanced yet. The
Oh,
attacker
okay.
hasn't advanced yet. So the attacker needs to advance and then roll for pursuit points.
So he's got,
All
you round
right.
up or down?
Okay, so I rolled for pursuit. I got a 3.
I'm pretty sure the usual behavior of the system is a half rounds to the whole. But the important thing is actually you need to adopt facing to the southwest, whether you want to or not, because you have to try to follow me. Right. And now you've got 2 pursuit points to do with as you will. Um, well, that's a really good question. What would you do with that?
So he can't use the points to maneuver unless he uses at least 1 pursuit. Unless
That's
he moves
right.
1 hex forward to
Yes.
pursuit.
Yeah.
And then
You
he's only got
can't. You
1
can't
hex
do.
left. He's
That's
got 1
right.
movement
You
point
can't.
left.
Yeah. That's the bear about getting disordered.
Yeah.
Is it means that you can't do much. You really have to blow the other guy out from a special result. From him failing a morale check. Because if you're disordered, unless you roll super good, you're not going to have a lot of flexibility. So you're going to have to.
Well, I can like move forward 1 and then
you can turn and face towards the guys there. Yeah.
Right. If I I'll move
Yeah,
forward 1,
yeah.
I'll do my
So-
hopefully.
So you could do 3606 and then adopt any facing you want. Well, actually, put it this way: you could advance into 3606, roll to recall, and then adopt whatever facing you want.
I was trying to figure out the remember
The order.
terminology. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, all right. So we will advance. So take
Okay.
another loss. We'll roll a recall.
Ooh.
Ooh, and
What's
that's at
their
plus
morale?
10. I don't think that's going to go.
Nope.
Nope. Even without it, he was going to fail.
Yeah.
So now are they shaken?
Yeah, they're shaking
okay.
the disorder now.
And they don't get any more pursuit.
No, they absolutely do. That's actually the funny part about free movement, and it's one of those things that you just have to read it because don't try to apply too much logic to it. But it's actually independent of whether you passed your recall. You could still use the free movement. I'm not sure where it says it, but I've absolutely seen it, and I just kind of head scratch and go, sure, whatever you say, boss.
All right. So that's okay. Well.
All right. Well,
we
we should probably save it here.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, here it is. It's already 10 o'clock. So how exciting, though, that we didn't get through an entire turn in 2 hours.
I know. That's
right.
We have to thank Dave for being the aggressive leader that he is.
There you go. There you go. Good for you.
So, David, for Alau at Consem, are you playing the French or the Russians?
I don't know yet.
Oh, you don't? You guys haven't sorted it out yet?
No, or at least no, I have not been in any discussions. He asked me which I told him either one would work, whatever.
Okay.
And we'll see. And on that.
Okay. Well, that should be fine. I know I'm going to be playing the Allies because Rick wanted to try out the Allies, and so he and I and Warren Kingsley are going to be. Warren is going to be the Blucher of our forces. So we'll see how true that is if he shows up with a large gin mixed with garlic and applies that internally and externally. That is the.
You act like that's a problem. I'm not sure I understand.
That could be the secret weapon that the Prussians have. So
It's what they've learned from fighting all the fights in Transylvania. You just need to have plenty of garlic in your martini or whatever you're drinking. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm looking here. Grim Harbinger writes, I finally picked one of my WDS games to buy and bought a seven.
WTS.
Yeah, it's got to be. It sounds like it's some kind of computer game, and bought 7 Years War, and about to start a battle with the AI of Lobositz.
Wonderful.
Wonderful. He says, I just checked the size of my Prussian army at Lobositz. It's tiny, and 29,000. And I like, that's just a core given to me. I'm used to the size of Napoleonics.
Yes,
American
that's
Civil
true.
War. Yeah.
Well, and to be honest, because this was the first battle of the 7 Years War, it's tiny compared to like Torgau, which was massive by contrast. So,
that's because the bulk of the Prussian army is investing. Is it Piritz or what is the where the Saxons
it's where the Saxon army is all barricaded in. Yeah, but it's not just that. It's just that the armies just got bigger as the war went on. There was more and more artillery, and there was just more and more troops. And Torgau is the one.
Yeah, they haven't done Torgau yet for this series, have they?
No, they haven't. And Matthew talked about it. It's like he was thinking we need to get back to Central Europe, and we need to get back to some of the big names. And so, I mean, he's probably right that would be good. It would be a monster.
Right.
It'd be a monster partially because the armies engaged were really big, but also because Frederick did his, classic flank march thing. So, like, how much of the map are you going to try to cover? Right. So we'll see. I'm not really convinced that's the thing to do. I do have that French guy's 7 Years War system, Torgau. I have not broken it out because I've been too busy trying to figure out Terry Doherty's, first victories system and the great battles of the American Civil War. So I haven't had time to do it. I keep tormenting myself that I'm a bad person because I haven't done it, but whatever.
You're a bad person for lots of other reasons, Michael.
Thank you so much. That makes me feel quite a lot better.
Don't limit yourself to just, I haven't read.
Those of us who know you know you're bad for so many more reasons. That's great. Thanks so much for that. Oh, goodness. Yeah. So that's where that is, I guess. But yeah, you're right. It's a small looking battle compared to what you would see in even a relatively modest Napoleonic battle. I mean, Marengo is pretty small as these things go, right?
Yeah.
Nothing like the later ones,
right?
That kept coming around with, obviously Leipzig was monstrous. Yeah, and that's definitely not what we're talking about.
Yeah, Grimm is saying, I mean, the Prussians at Torgau are 40,000, and the Austrians are 56,000.
Right.
Yeah.
So again, bigger than this, but not as big as the big Napoleonic battles, to be sure.
It's no Wagram. It's no Leipzig.
No.
It's
not Bourgogne.
Yeah.
So I did just want to share before we finish.
By the way, Michael, the WDS games are the John Tiller games. If you
remember. Sure. Of course. I don't know why I'd never heard that acronym before.
Well, that's because since John Tiller died, that's what the company became, and War Games Design Studio.
Okay. I had not heard.
Tom Whitfield had helped those guys out.
Yes.
Yeah.
He did.
Yeah.
Okay.
So.
Okay. Yeah. No, I've always like admired someone who would go to all that trouble. I wish they looked better, but I mean, I also appreciate that for the tiny market of wargamers, it's probably tough to justify the expense that people can do on, a game like Civilization or something where
Right.
you're going to sell 1 million copies. So, but anyway, I appreciate that. Um, I finished the 10 o'clock turn at Prague earlier today, so I just thought I'd share that with you. I'm sharing the screen, I believe.
I see. It
Yes.
says 10-20 situation. So this is at the beginning of the 10-20 turn.
That's right. That's the way I
Okay.
always do it, because I think about the beginning of the turn as that time.
Right.
And both sides are starting to throw cavalry in. And both sides are starting to throw cavalry in because they're running out of infantry. And let's see. And I may zoom in a little bit here just to help make it a little bit more clear, because all
Yeah.
the action's over here on the west side of the field.
Right.
But what you'll probably note is that there really aren't any Prussian infantry units
Wow.
here.
No, yeah.
And there's scarcely any here. And they're quite a lot bunched up back here because a lot of them have routed away and they're
Right.
trying to get themselves reorganized. And so eventually Zieten is like, well, okay, two things are true. One is that there's a big hole in our lines. And two, the other side is thrashed. So what the heck? Let me just go ahead and try charging them and see if I can, blow a hole that's a little bigger.
Right.
And so they did that here last turn, and then this turn they were going to do a charge. These guys here, I don't know if you can see my cursor, were going to charge and then failed their morale check. And again, these are Zieten's hussars,
Wow.
so I don't need to tell you how embarrassing that is
Yeah.
That
to
was
fail
pretty
the morale
embarrassing.
check.
Yes.
And then the other command came up this way and actually did yeoman's work. This stack here, this was 2 8-7s, actually charged an earthworks. And if you think about charging an earthworks, first of all, if you attack an earthworks, it's -2.
Right.
If you go upslope, it's another -2. If you're
Right.
cavalry, the earthworks is doubled, so it's -4. So they were attacking at -6. However, there were only 2 strength points left disordered
Right.
in the earthworks. So it was 16-1 -6.
Right.
Except, of course, 16-1 is inherently +10.
Yeah.
So anyway, so they managed to take the earthworks from the poor bedraggled buggers who were left behind in it. Anyway, so they managed to see off these guys, and now the Austrians are bringing some medium cavalry over here, but couldn't move fast enough to attack them this turn.
Right.
And then you can see the Haddocks light cavalry are moving forward here, and then this cavalry that was over on the right side has been moving over towards the middle, because there's a pretty good infantry line here that should probably hold up for a while. So these guys are trying to bolster the middle. And then these are all those really good Austrian grenadiers.
Right.
Who were kind of being held in reserve and are moving their way back.
Hustling forward there, yeah.
Yeah. So the truth is that, and really the bulk of the Prussian infantry is here.
Yeah.
And
it looks like you're dealing with
just,
Grenzers and...
Yeah, they're dealing with Grenzers, and they're starting to see them off. You can see lots of
Yep.
shaken markers on those, and so I suspect that the Grenzers aren't long for this world. But nevertheless, there's just not many infantry left. There's a few left scattered around out here, but in other words, the cavalry are kind of have to carry the day here.
Right.
And of course, Pennever's cavalry is over here, but they're being watched by these guys, so they can't be too cute. And over here is Winterfeld and some of the rest of Schwerin's detachment.
Right.
And they've been pushing back the Grenzers over here, but obviously they've got this whole group of Austrians who are sitting up on the hill waiting for them. And really both sides are just kind of using these as just kind of a just mind your business over here. Right? Neither one of them dares pull those cavalry away, but it also means that cavalry is no threat to Schwerin.
Right.
because obviously the Prussians had just fallen the rear of them, and they're all
Yeah.
just kind of staring at each other over here, while the real battle is ending up here. And I tell you, it's. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I love the system. You know, I love the
Yeah.
system. Just the crazy things that happens, the charges that don't go through, um, the the failed morale checks. Like the Austrians just had a terrible string of failed morale checks. They tried to do some charges this turn, that got nowhere. You know, it's just
Yeah.
one thing after another, and you just love it because you're trying to put it all together. You're trying to make it all make sense, and and you're just having to deal with the chaos.
Well,
So
are any of the armies having negative modifiers across the board
that's
yet?
a very good question. I'm glad you asked. So the Prussians actually have more losses. Really not a big surprise considering that they were attacking uphill into
Right.
prepared defenses. But they rolled a 1,
Mm.
and Frederick spent one of his command points to reduce that by 1. I mean, of course, he had to do that in advance.
Right.
So he spent the 1 before he rolled. So of course he didn't need to have spent it, but he'd already spent it. So fine, whatever. But
Well, I mean,
so
at
he
this
rolled.
point, at this point, he might as well spend all of them because he's always getting the initiative since the Austrians don't
Well,
have the army leader.
Well, no, because that didn't happen until this
Oh,
turn.
okay.
So that had just happened this turn. So he spent the 1, and you're right in retrospect. But whatever, he rolled a 1, so it didn't matter. So no effect to the Prussians. The Austrians were not on the same column. They rolled a 9.
Oof.
So they're at +5, and
Okay.
it's just like, you know, it sucks to be you. So, so the Austrians are at +5, even though the Prussians are ahead of them in losses.
Right.
The thing that I think is really going to tell it, though, is the Prussians are just going to run out of guys.
Yeah. It's kind of like what
I mean, they're
happened to you
just.
at Colon.
I think it is. Yeah, they're gonna. They're going to make more progress here, but if these grenadiers can come up and make themselves felt, it's going to be really tough for the Prussians to keep going because they're, frankly, most of their infantry's been shot.
Right.
And if they can keep their cavalry engaged well enough to keep Zieten's guys from being too effective, then I mean that's where the whole battle is going to happen. Is just right in here and here. But I mean, one thing I really do like about this is because of the Prussian decision. In fact, the whole thesis behind this game was that the Prussians were just going to go straight in.
Yeah.
There was no subtlety.
Yeah.
Right? There's no let's hold back somebody for next turn. Yeah. It's like, no, we're pretty much in now. It's like, so go. and so it's relentless. And
hey, it looks like we've got Grim Harbinger has joined us in Discord.
Yes.
Oh my goodness! Hello.
Hello.
And how are? And how are you?
Sorry.
No, we're just having internet echo and latency problems. Please carry on.
I mostly came in to observe this screen share.
Oh, because it's not visible?
It
it's visible.
Yeah.
It is visible. I just wanted a better look.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fair.
And I'm nosy.
Well, that's only sporting.
This is one of the reasons to join the Discord. You can come in and kibitz.
Be nosy.
Yeah. That's how I got started with you guys. So
that's
true.
it.
You were lurking in the background there. So
anyway, so this has been a lot of fun. I mean, I imagine another hour or two, and even if neither side is to the point of having pluses too high, I just think at the rate they're slamming into each other, there won't be much of an army left on one side or the other by another hour or two.
Right.
So we'll carry on. It's been fun.
Yeah. Well, good. Well, I guess if you could get through all of that, then you would technically be cutting the guys that are further to the east out of their retreat back to Prague.
Actually, that's a very good point. And there is a rule that if 10 non-routed Prussian units get south of the Kaiserstrasse, which we
Right.
can see across the screen there,
Yep.
on that western board, then that's by itself another +5 or +10 to the Austrians.
Yeah.
Which is, you're absolutely right. If they could penetrate that far, then the guys who are east are probably just going to turn east and keep going.
Yeah.
Or turn southeast and keep going. They're probably not even going to stick around because now they're cut off from Prague. It's a very good point.
Yeah. Well, very cool. Well, I'm going to go ahead and end the live stream then.
Very good.
And thanks everybody out there who's been watching. And we won't be playing next week because we're going to be at Consim. And the week after that, I mean, unless everyone's back on Sunday, what will be the 19th or the 20th or whatever it is? 20? Yeah, it's the 20th. I don't know what sort of shape we'd be in, so it's probably going to be a couple of weeks.
Well,
until we play
I'm
again.
coming back Friday, so I'm fine for Sunday. If you,
Yeah, I'm driving
whatever.
back Friday night because so I'll be home
Well,
Saturday morning. So.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember. I think I'm flying back Friday myself. So I don't know. Maybe by Sunday night. Maybe. Yeah.
If our
So
if our
all
brains are
right.
still
Definitely not
functioning.
next week.
Yes.
Maybe the week following.
Yeah.
All right.